Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici. Welcome my friends. My name is Vincenzo and welcome to my channel, Fountain Pen Therapy. It's Euro Cup time. My team, Italy, has played one game. They barely made it, but they played well. Surprisingly enough, yeah, the opposition wasn't France or Germany or Portugal or Spain, not yet anyway. But you know what? They got a little bit of a scare there. That the first goal, Albania, 26 seconds in, kind of all got us worried a little bit because Italy's been having its difficulties in the latest, last championships, although they're the Euro champs. So they're back. Let's hope they can surprise us like they did last time. But having said that, I'm really glad that I finally have a chance. And it's appropriate given it's Euro Cup season and that my Italian team, and you can see my flag, where is it? There in the background, that I review an Italian pen, and that's exactly what we will be doing with this review. Now, it's a pen that I've been meaning to review, and I've mentioned this to you many times. It's a pen I picked up on a Katawiki auction site. It's an Omas Extra, and you know what, this is a great little pen, and I'm glad I was able to add another Omas pen to my collection. Let's take a look at it. I just love this pen. I can tell you I've been using it for quite a bit of time, but hopefully it'll all come out in my video. So folks, Forza Italia, Forza Omas. Stay tuned. Okay, so here we are with the pen, and let's take a closer look at it. Now, one thing that immediately is noticeable, it is a bit of a vintage pen, and that explains why it's not a big pen. It's also not very heavy, and we'll see from the measurements exactly how many grams it is. But you will quickly realize that this pen is not a heavy pen. Oh, the close-up. I just wanted to make sure that we can focus properly. There you have it. So, first of all, it's a 12-faceted pen. Bought this on Katawiki auctions. I bid for it and I got a good price. So you could see that both the cap and the main barrel are 12 faceted. On the barrel you could read the name of the pen, which is Omas Extra. The center band has kind of Roman or Greek graphics there, two main bands and one, two small bands and one main band. Right, it does step down a little bit. The nib is a very flexible nib. It's got a little bit of a pointed round finial there. Same Same for the other end. It is a piston filler. So there you have it. Very, very, very nice. I got to tell you. Let's just see how many turns to open this pen. It's 1. It's 1.5. So 1 3/4 to reveal this beautiful gold nib. You can see the F there for fine. This is the typical Omas engraving that you see on their nibs right to this day, as a matter of fact. And you can see the gold content there, 750, with Omas written on it. It's got that sliced ebonite feed, which is always a very nice touch. And it's, I got to tell you, I mean, I've tried this pen, so I've been using it for quite a while now. And it is this type of nib that makes you fall in love with fine nibs. Something that I never dreamt that I would say in public. Just beautiful. I got to tell you, and hopefully that writing sample will bring that out. So there you have the pen. It is filled, so I'm not going to turn the piston fill mechanism. Does it post? It does post, and it doesn't post on that mechanism. So it does post very comfortably. The pen is not heavy. It's not back weighted when it's posted. So very comfortable. Can it be used without posting? Yes, it can. As you can see, it's a little small, but can. That section is smallish, but you can hold the pen right up here until right up to where the 12-faceted barrel starts. Not intrusive at all, so you can either hold it up high, but it becomes a little short here. So it's best, I think, if you use the section. It's got a little bit of a flare. Very, very nice. Now inside, let's just see with my flashlight if I see anything of interest. Yeah, there's a little bit of a step there. As you can see, there's a ledge so that this pen is going to be well sealed and not prone to drying. And I can certify that because this pen has been sitting, and every time I pick it up, it just writes beautifully. So there you have the outside of the pen and the design and features of the pen. Let's do a size comparison. Be right back. Okay, for the size comparison, I put it up against some real beauties here. And you can quickly realize that it is probably as big as my Nettuno 1911, although a little bit smaller. Smaller than my Mont Blanc Solitaire here, which is a 146 size. Definitely smaller than my Mont Blanc 149. Almost equally distant in terms of length as my Aurora 88. And here's my Waterman Expert, which is bigger, of course. But you know what? It fits in really nicely with these pens. That's why I've chosen them. So let's, that's the pens capped. Here are the pens uncapped and unposted, and you can see that that's where this pen clearly is the smallest of the gang here. One thing it does not have, it is a piston filler, but it doesn't have an ink window, which is unfortunate. But you know what? This nib, this fine nib, and this fine nib on this Aurora is what makes fine nibs all of a sudden a very interesting thing for me, which I repeat, I never thought I would say that. So there you have the pens uncapped and unposted. Here are the pens posted. And posted, it kind of takes on a different size here, and I think it's you can pretty well say that it's equivalent to these three, bigger than my Aurora 88 and much bigger than my Waterman. Like I said, it becomes a little much longer, but because it's a light pen, relatively light pen, it's not back weighted at all. So there you have the pens posted. We'll do some measurements and then we'll take a look at that writing sample, which I'm convinced is going to be just perfect. But stay tuned. So we're back with the writing sample. First of all, the paper is Tomoe River. This is the Galen leather notepad. There's the pen. As far as the ink is concerned, I'm going to put some Visconti blue, not the turquoise, the blue. Beautiful ink. This is a gorgeous bottle if it had been glass. They should really think about bringing it back, but in glass. I don't know, for some anniversary or something. At least I certainly would think about it. It's a little rinky-dinky when it's plastic. You got to be careful because it's a tendency to very light. But the ink has always been very nice, so we'll see how that does. So let's get to it. So this is the Omas Extra. Black. The nib is a Omas 14 karat gold nib, and it is a fine. The ink is, I think they call it Visconti blue, unless it's royal blue. Is there a name on this bottle? No, there isn't. So we'll call it Visconti blue as opposed to turquoise. So here it is. Does the pen have, you can squeeze a little line variation, but I don't want to, ruin this nib. It is one of my favorite fine nibs, so we'll leave it as that, but it's very, very constant. Not a problem whatsoever. Is it wet? Fairly wet. So I would say that this ink is, or this pen is, very wet, very smooth, very constant. Most constant. I mean, this thing just writes all the time. Very, very nice. Reverse writing. Yeah. Gives you a very constant, extra fine, I think, line. So doable if you guys are interested. There you go. Likes and dislikes. Well, the design is beautiful. That, it's classic. The build quality is excellent. The nib, in my view, is 10 on 10. Value, I actually picked this up at I think a fairly good price. It cost me, I think, at the end of the day, about 120, if I'm not mistaken, 120 US, plus shipping and customs. But so value is a relative thing because it's bid, but my bid was a winner, let's just say. So I'll give myself a 10 on 10 there. Likes, just the weight, but it is kind of vintagey, so it's a little light for me. Just I prefer to have a bulkier pen and a much heavier pen. But, once you put the cap on, it kind of gives it a nice weight. And it's also very well balanced, I would say here. So no ink window. Would be another dislike, if you will. But apart from that, beautiful pen. 10 on 10 for me, folks. If you can get your hands on one of these, very, very nice. I'm glad I added this to my collection. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that review. I finally got to do my review of this beautiful Italian Omas pen on a Euro Cup weekend. It's just started where my team won its first game. So we're all happy. My golf game is great. Just got off the golf course. A little bit of a crappy front nine, but a great back nine. So I got out of there with a par on the 18th hole. It's a great way to finish. So stay tuned for all my videos. They're all a bunch were coming up. Andean pens are being delivered. You've got my recaps. I've got other Italian pens to review as well. Pens are coming in almost 2, 3, 4 times a week. We've got inks. We've got paper. We got fountain pen therapy, folks. All'italiana, right? Forza Italia. Please subscribe. Thumbs up when you can. Enjoy your pens. Enjoy the summer. Grazie e arrivederci.